What is good, y'all? It is your boy, Mr. G, today's host for Strawhat Sitdown, episode 111.
My goodness.
Hey, let's go.
Let's get it, yo. So, today obviously it's not the usual crew. Callie Mac is not here, but before we get into why Callie Mac is not here, please drop a like, a subscribe, a follow. Yo, drop that shit like it's hot, bro, because we are at 254 followers and we're growing. Our second to last video hit over 1,000 views. It was the first time we did that, and I want to thank all of you guys. So that means that there's over 1,000 of you that checked us out and haven't dropped a sub. So,
Facts.
or at least 800. So please do. Let's get those numbers up. Let's get to 300, man. Let's get to 300, and let's go from there. So I appreciate every single one of you for checking us out, and let's get to it. Callie Mike is not here because he is at Combo Breaker in Florida, right? Florida?
Chicago.
Yeah. My bad. CEO is Florida, right?
Yeah, another big tournament in Florida. But yeah, he's going crazy at Combo Breaker, though.
He's going crazy, yo. Shout out to that boy, Callie Mac, coming in second in Dragon Ball Fighters this weekend, beating Wade. Wade is one of the best best world players out there. And
period, yeah.
Bro, that shit was OD. I didn't get to see all of it, but Callie Mac, yo, fucking doing it, bro. Yo, fucking also shout out. It was his birthday last Monday. Happy belated birthday to the captain, bro. Also, happy belated birthday to both my boy JJ and my sister Diana. I fucking love you guys. They were on the birthdays on Thursday the 23rd, and it's just mad love this week. It's been crazy. So to start us off, Mod, how you doing today, Mod?
Oh, I'm doing pretty good. This chapter is crazy, and can't wait to talk about it. Hopefully, everybody also had a good Memorial Day weekend. But yeah, let's talk about this One Piece.
Yes, sir. Very busy weekend, but Oda still came in clutch with this chapter because this chapter was ridiculous, right? And also shout out to all the tournament organizers this weekend that I did 2 pickleball tournaments and did a volleyball tournament yesterday. With the pickleball tournaments were my first ones. The first one was an advanced tournament, didn't make it out of pools. The second one was a level under, made it to quarterfinals. And then yesterday's volleyball tournament, my team lost in the finals, but it was close matches, hype matches, and I think they're going to be on YouTube. Hopefully, we'll see.
Oh damn!
Yeah, so I'll definitely show you. Yeah,
definitely.
I can't wait to watch them again. But to lead us today, and last but not least, that boy YHuss, how are you doing today?
I'm chilling, man. I'm super excited for this chapter. I don't know. I didn't think I would make it during the break week, but here we are. And I'm excited for this chapter. It was crazy, bro. It was nuts.
It's crazy, yo. Oda blessing us at a great time.
Yes, sir.
So, without further ado, let's get to it. One Piece, chapter 1,115, Pieces of a Continent. YHuss will be your narrator today.
Yes, sir. Let's get right into it, man. And you guys jump in whenever, man.
Of course.
So 1115 Pieces of a Continent. As always, we're getting this new cover page of Yamato. It seems like we're doing the workaround of Wano, seeing where everyone's at, how everyone's living.
Facts.
This is a very cool, 2 characters that near and dear. Otoko and Hiyori. This is really sick. Yasue's foster daughter. Getting to work with Hiyori, making some food. Very cool. Very cute cover page. And Yamato just chilling in the back, cheesing. It's sick.
I love it. And something that I saw on Twitter that got picked up. If you look at the bento box that Hiyori's making, you're gonna see it again in the chapter. Because
that's sick. That's so sick. Oh, sick.
We'll get there when we
just turn the page. Boom.
Let's do it.
Oh, sick. All right, cool. So we go right from the cover page. We don't leave Wano. We're still in Wano, the flower capital. People are saying, "Wow, I can't believe we're actually getting this broadcast from so far away." Well, actually, they're kind of close, but it's crazy that we in Wano, they feel so isolated that we're getting signals. And someone says Orochi had it in his castle, so a little cool detail, like how Oda spun it. That Orochi, just like just like he was somehow getting newspapers when he was running Wano, he had something of a snail. It doesn't seem like in the next panel we get to see that. It doesn't seem like they have the visual broadcast, but they do have a transponder snail talking.
Which is, if you look at it, it is an Orochi transponder because it's still got the crown on
Ooh,
it.
yeah, you're right. You're
Yeah.
exactly right.
So
Great pickup. And then so we get a little bit of the continuation of. So the end of last chapter was Joy Boy being a pirate, and Vegapunk continues on and says, as for why he was called a pirate, we get to hear later. But we get to see the reactions from some of our favorite Wano characters. We get to see obviously Kinemon, Momo, Tama. The shinobi's name is escaping me, but this is the cute shinobi that used to not be cute.
Oh,
was it Shinobu?
Shinobu. I was so close.
Yeah.
Shinobu the Shinobi, bro.
I was so close. Kunoichi. Yeah, that's her actual title.
Yeah.
Anyway, Momo's reaction. Someone who knows a little bit about Joy Boy because he read Odin's logbook. He said Joy Boy was a pirate. He sounds just like Luffy. Kinemon is like, dog, you know this guy? You've heard of him, my lord? And sadly, that's all we really get of.
Well, not just that, but also remember, Momo spoke to Zunisha. And I feel like he probably heard Zunisha mention Joy Boy also.
He did. We absolutely did. He said
right?
he mentioned it a few times when he told. That's how we knew that Zunisha was Joy Boy's companion. That's how we knew Joy Boy had returned when Luffy went Gear 5. So yeah, you're absolutely right. But that's all we get of Wano. And we get to move on to Naval Base G4. I don't know if we know where this is. But we get to see it. And in the cell of the Naval Base G4 is one of the funnier gags Oda's done in a while. He brought back gag from literally 600 chapters, 500 chapters. Tomorrow Black and his crew. Actually, no, I should say Captain Kidd and his crew. Killer and them are in a jail cell.
My goodness.
And Killer says that Joy Boy, I don't believe he's stronger than our captain, right, Kid? Right, Kid? And Kid says, "Leave the guy alone. He's already dead." The rest of these scrubs are saying that's the captain we love and admire. Kid's the most generous guy around. And he says, "There's no way I'm weakening that Joy Ball." And someone reminds him, "It's Joy Boy, not Joy Ball." And obviously TCB went with Joy Toy in that instance. It's super funny, like the former fake Luffy.
Yeah.
That was a super funny gag here.
It was.
I'm just so like. I'm like, wait a minute. If this dude was captured, when did he get the time to pull this little
charade off? Right? Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, and this dude has no character. Apparently, you would think you get exposed and you would just be who you are, but who's gonna actually believe that your kid when you just got exposed when you got exposed as being Luffy? Like, bruh.
Well, I do know YHuss, you had mentioned something in the One Piece chat this week about the whole thing, right? That there's a theory behind that after a major pirate was defeated, such as Luffy, this guy impersonated him because they were not heard of from a while, and then they made a comeback, right? And then now they're saying people are theorizing that since Kid got defeated by Shanks, it's been a while since he's been around, so that he might make a comeback. But I don't know about Captain Mid doing that though.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
The thing is though, is that was Shanks defeating Kid even in the newspaper yet?
I mean, it has to be if this guy decided to expose. What's the word? Impersonate him. I assume that means that word got around.
That's true.
Oh, okay.
I could definitely see that being the case. I could definitely see that being the case.
Yeah, because you're not gonna impersonate someone who's really walking around.
Yeah,
but I don't know. He might be that dumb.
He might be that stupid. That's a fact.
That is true. That is true.
But yeah, I missed it. That's pretty interesting. And obviously, another parallel is the exact way they were defeated, right? With the narrative box saying like this crew was utterly annihilated, So I think it's interesting, and I think honestly, like a character like Kid, even though it's kind of funny that you guys are the bigger haters today because usually it's me going on Captain Kid. Even someone that big, it would be hard to believe Oda wouldn't have a plan, for to have a big role. So I assume he's coming back anyway.
Yeah. So I never thought he was done.
Yeah. Vegapunk continues that I've only read from a handful of poneglyphs, but what I found there was the record of a breathtakingly vast war. And he just continues. Actually, I'll even throw in the last panel. Joy Boy's enemy was the world government of the present day. This is Ohara's words getting to the public, like in full. He just tells them, bro, there was a huge war, and this kingdom had an enemy, and the enemy was the world government. So that chapter of O'Hara getting O'Hara's will still alive, we're getting it in this podcast, this page right here. Pretty interesting. This Marine has a very funny reaction. She's like, "Wait, is that us?" He's literally doing the Drewski meme, pointing to himself. And his companion has a super interesting line, and he says, "Well, he was a pirate, so that checks out." And it's kind of interesting how you could twist the idea of exactly the world government being the main the good guys is not going to be easily swayed in the public's eyes, especially not Marines.
Facts.
So we continue on, and the Gorosei are not happy with Vegapunk's broadcast, and as they just said that Joy Boy's enemy was the world government, and we get to see Top Man Mercury having a reaction shot at John Sherrod. Just Vegapunk, just really angry chasing these guys, and it's kind of we get to see that like the Giants and Luffy have decided that there's not any more fighting that's going to be happening. We just have to run away.
My bad. Before you continue, I gotta apologize to my boy John Sherrod. I said that Oda was setting him up in the last chapter that Mercury was gonna get wrecked with Luffy's next attack. That ended up not happening. So, but it's gonna happen, just not yet.
I agree. It might not be now, but it will happen. But I will say, Mercury has had a big showing this arc. Just not being able to be touched, bro. It's crazy.
It's crazy.
And this is the interesting line that kind of is more specific than the TCB. It says more accurately, the world government, the enemy of Joy Boy was the precursor to the world government, a provisional army put together by 20 kingdoms known as the Alliance. So we get to see a little bit of what their title was back in the Void Century. And I think that's interesting because obviously we get to hear it kind of reminds me of World War II, the Axis and the Allies. Just some interesting little tidbits. We continue on, and we get to see what the Gorosei are doing about the lab and how they're attempting to destroy the life forms in it. And we get a non-refutable confirmation that at least some of the Gorosei have Conqueror's Haki. And I know we assumed that for sure based on what they were doing, but it's in the panel right here. He's just pulsating his Haki, knocking all these snails out. Yeah. It almost seems small compared to what's happening now, but this is huge.
I mean, when I saw dude do the Conqueror's Haki roar, I assumed that they got it because I'm like Conqueror's Haki roar. That's like
that was OD. Yeah,
that was new.
Next level, man.
I mean, if we're in the final end game, it makes sense. These are some of the final bosses of One Piece, right?
Yep.
To me, it makes sense that they would have Conqueror's Haki.
No, it makes absolute sense, bro. They've been living for 900 years too. They've been running the world,
and they're at the top. Well,
they beat Joy Boy.
They beat Joy Boy. They did.
Absolutely crazy. So this is their plan to sweep the floors. We get to see Saturn doing it later. They're just pulsating Haki. Mars looks absolutely just
pissed, bro.
Yeah, he's out of it. He's not having it anymore. Vegapunk continues. You might say they had no other choice. So, and then TCB used the word formidable. The official uses robust to describe Joy Boy's faction. And we get to see a sick panel. So this is what looks like the kings of the 20 kings, the Alliance versus Joy Boy.
Yep.
What a sick panel, bro.
Yeah, that panel looked great.
So I feel like this is also confirmation of the silhouette, right? That Joy Boy did have the Nika fruit.
Yeah, and that that was 99.9999999% confirmed, but boom, now it's the final nail in the coffin. That's Luffy right there, bro.
Yeah. Right.
It looks like he has a tail, or it could.
I saw that. I thought that maybe might have been part of the shirt, but it does look like a little bit of a tail. But I'm not gonna.
Yeah. Maybe so. It is because I remember a while ago back when we were still in Wano, we were trying to remember when they were interchangeably using Nika and Joy Boy and stuff like that.
Yes.
Yeah. So now we know that it's not necessarily that Nika. Because there could have been a godly figure named Nika, but the godly figure Nika probably predates even Joy Boy.
Yeah. Because Nika was the god of the Giants, because the Giants were around at that time already, right? So, also I do believe there's more confirmation that Joy Boy is a giant, right?
The giant hat in Marijwa, his companions being huge, the Noah's Ark, stuff like that. But that Nika stuff is very interesting, and we'll definitely talk more about about Nika and what might have happened before the Void Century. I think that will all be important.
Yeah.
So this is an interesting line from Vegapunk, and again, I have to say that people who were saying that Robin's purpose is to talk about the Void Century, Vegapunk's gonna say too much. There was just no way Vegapunk knew everything, and he says here, I didn't know the spark that caused the war. I can't say who's right or wrong. So we don't even get the reason that they were fighting.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. He says, I'll simply say that the two competing ideologies came head to head. As I mentioned earlier, for its time, 900 years ago, the country Joy Boy's birth was a startlingly advanced civilization. And we get to see Zoe, we get to see Carrot. I think that's Wanda. And she's now in the Cavalier outfit. She's one of the Musketeers.
Mm-hmm.
That's very cool. All the gangs. She Lion. That's the goal right there.
And also, wait, this is also kind of funny too, because I remember like a year plus ago when Wano ended, people were there. There was this, I remember a YouTuber and a couple other people were theorizing that Carrot was still going to be the final member of the Straw Hats because she wasn't seen again, and then it was a theory that she was like hiding in like one of the barrels or something, like, and stuff. Like now, this is like complete confirmation. Like, no, she's not still with the Straw. She's not on the ship. She's not like, hiding somewhere. She didn't escape her responsibilities as the next Duke head of Zoe. So I'm just thinking back to all those people that had that theory, and I didn't know if they still had that theory up to this point because we haven't seen it in a while. Like, I thought that theory was been scrapped, but if you still believed in that before, here you go.
They was huffing the most copium. To make that happen.
Yes.
But
go ahead, bro.
Real quick, like apparently that like little sweater satchel that she's wearing apparently means that she was finally inducted to be like the leader of everyone. That's why they have her in the middle.
I definitely believe that she's locked in. She's taking her oath if they do that there in Enzo. But they were actually huffing opium. But this is her. This is what they gave to her. So this is what she's doing.
I still feel like, I mean, in a way, she's still part of the Strawhat Sitdown fleet because she's gonna come and help them 100%. when time comes through. Like so.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think that like they made a great ally. Yeah, she'll help lead the charge and for Zoe to when the truth gets fully revealed, or whether it's like most of whatever part that concerns them, because I don't know which part of the truth that concerns them the most. It will be either Vegapunk spilling what he knows here, or Robin when she discovers the truth. Whichever gets them moving, she will lead the charge in that.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And then
her with Zoe, and then you got Momo with Wano. Like,
and we get to see a lot of the allies Luffy has, which is why I love these world panels. When let's take let's talk about it. Few people are not happy about the pacing, in the sense that we have to take all these panels to see people talking about what Vegapunk's saying and the world's reaction to all this news. What do you guys think about that?
I think. Well, hold on. What did they? So.
I'll give you a quick example. People are saying like stuff like we don't have to see like Foxy or some small characters react to or mock down the people laughing at Vegapunk's. They're saying we don't have to see small stuff like that.
We do. It matters because
I agree with you, bro.
It because in my opinion, it's like this is world news. This is the
facts.
We always, and everyone who's read One Piece, however you consume One Piece, always knew that there's an overarching plot, which is, I would say, plot A, and then there's the island to island personal plots, plot B, that Luffy goes through and stuff. And this is an accumulation of like plot A affects everything that plot B has ever done. So us seeing everybody is fair game, and in my opinion, it makes sense. You see, and I understand where they're coming from. I know why they feel like that, but in my opinion, it's great because it's like Mocktown. These guys really don't fuck with the idea of anything that has any semblance of fantasy and stuff.
Facts.
Like we saw back when Luffy said he was going to go into the sky to get the One Piece, etc., etc.
Mm-hmm.
These guys haven't changed because Vegapunk, the greatest scientist in the world, is telling them shit, and they just don't believe it whatsoever. So, and I don't, which is kind of funny because you would think that people like this would believe in like hard facts, logic, science, right? And the fact that they're laughing at this is just telling that it's not about facts to them.
No,
it's in a weird way. Mocktown is a city or a place of nihilism in a little bit of sense.
Yeah,
it's like the world is fucked up. Pirates are these fucked up individuals. We pillage, we take, and call it a day. I mean, I guess that is the most like realistic interpretation of piracy, but clearly the best pirates and the best the people at top are beyond just, a very realistic interpretation of piracy and stuff like that.
Yeah, because they're all pirates to realize their goals.
Yeah.
And dreams, but these people at Mocktown are laugh at dreams and goals. So
because their dreams and goals were crushed, and then they were like, no one could do it, and then they just stay there being in a town full of haters, bro. Like,
which is a big thing about One Piece. Like people like Moria, Crocodile, Kaido, of their dreams not being realized and then living a trash life and becoming terrible people because of it.
Yep.
So yeah, Mocktown is a super important place for us to go in general,
right? But I was even going to say, I don't even think that they are a place where their dreams were crushed. I just don't think that they believed in it in the first place. Because how, like, in real life, right? Like we heard y'all all heard the different stories, the different legends of different, like, the ancient city, Atlantis, El Dorado, the city of gold, like just all these different fantastical fantasy places. Obviously, in real life, I could see someone like laughing at the idea of those places existing, but in this world where they're basically us, but put into a setting like this, and especially since the world, like you're going to bring it up later, YHuss, when you continue on, but like the world is disconnected.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so it makes perfect sense that they're laughing like that. And I think Oda is bringing a point to express that because he wants to drop a bombshell that they can't deny because of even if them being separated and how messed up the world is. Bro, so
he gave them the earthquake. He's like, yo, if there's an earthquake yesterday, you should probably believe what I have to say. And the earthquake he predicted happened, but they still don't believe him. So they're not going to believe any facts, no matter who's giving it to them.
Now that you said that, bro, like how like everyone's disconnected. Now I'll bring it up when we get to it because yeah. Well, let's just keep going. Let's keep going.
But yeah. So
the point is, I like it.
I like it too. I like it too. I agree.
To the broader point of like the pacing issue, I think we all agree. Like, dude, Oda has a huge world and all these characters that we're invested in, and like it's sick for us to get to see everyone's like reaction. And also another thing that people don't think about is that we all know this stuff. We know that there was a Great War. We know that Joy Boy existed, but this is completely brand new information for everyone around the world.
Exactly.
We're watching the world change in front of us. So I think some people that read One Piece weekly kind of like forget that it's a manga that's been happening for 27 years, and there's a lot that's been built up. We can't get everything all at once.
Exactly.
I love it, dude. I actually got upset. I saw people saying that, oh, Vegapunk is rushing the end of One Piece, and I'm like, what? Like, no, but this is something that needs to happen because we are at the end game. We are here,
absolutely,
right? And like, and Vegapunk is just the catalyst to start everything going, like the spark, So
1,000%.
Yeah, don't forget, like people seem to forget, like this arc right here is literally the first arc to the final saga. We're gonna have more.
It's not even short. It started like 1060. It's already been like 50 chapters already, and it doesn't seem like we have at least 5 something left at least.
Right, and we got plenty of more arcs to go. We got still plenty of more news to flesh out because we still haven't gotten the ancient the Void Century flashback.
Yeah.
We might get we might get either Ancient Kingdom flashback, or we'll get a Joy Boy flashback, which will cover the Ancient Kingdom.
Yeah, they'll probably be the same.
Yeah, and then we also still got, you know, like full flesh information reveal. We might even get like a whatchamacallit, an epilogue to that flashback where it shows like what the world government did and stuff, because Vegapunk is alluding that he can't tell who was right or wrong between the two. So we might see a crazy reveal as to like, oh no, maybe the allied forces, maybe they were in the right at the time.
1,000%. I think that's a big that's a big talking point. Like, people don't realize that, like, bro, 20 kingdoms decided to fight one kingdom. Like, I can't imagine all 20 people were like these evil pieces of garbage, right?
Right.
And there's stuff before the Void Century that has to, you know, like, has to play a part in why the Void Century happened. There's so much, but I think we should continue.
Yeah.
So Vegapunk, he actually talks about how the Ancient Kingdom was startlingly advanced, and the weapons that were used over the course of the conflict with the Void Century appear to be impossible to recreate with the latest modern science. And he says, even I, a humble genius, cannot replicate them. Someone reacted to this.
It's crazy, bro.
The point about him not being able to remake them?
Yes, that's crazy.
Absolutely. And it kind of makes you think about how Franky and Iceberg reacted to the Pluton blueprints when Tom showed them the blueprints, and they said, can humans even make this? Which makes you ask questions about who the Ancient Kingdom is. And I don't have the answer, I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't even have a theory anymore. Someone who responds is Foxy. The first time we see Foxy in the manga since Water 7.
That's so funny.
Crazy. They're in a boat. They're in like a rowboat, like with a patched up sail and the Foxy face. And they're like, "What nonsense is this? He's talking peanuts." And do we see his little two crew members talking about how bad they have it? You're like, "Oh, I'm starving, boss." I think they're just Foxy's just still laughing about what is this guy bragging about? A humble genius, who cares? And that's it. So we just get two panels about them. But Vegapunk continues and said that's the problem, really. But we get a little bit of a break from the broadcast. We get to the lab, and Stussy is still on the commands, waiting to hear when she should lower the barrier. Edison calls in, and he's tired. He's still alive, but he's definitely banged up. He says, Stussy, he's huffing and puffing. It's me, Edison. Lower the barrier and run for safety. She protests because what are the Straw Hats? Like, I need the Straw Hats to like be protected through the barrier, and then when they can make it out, I'll take it out. I'll turn it off. Mm-hmm. And he just keeps it a buck. He says, dog, there's not really a point to the barrier. These monsters are walking in and out of it like it's a cakewalk. And we get to see Saturn, you know, flexing his conqueror's hockey. He says they can't stop these guys from getting past it. Edison says, I've done all I can, obviously referring to the, you know, like making the cloud bigger so that they can get to the water. He says they have it from here. Don't worry about them. Just turn the barrier off. We get to see Jinbe and Zoro, who still aren't at the Sunny, which kind of surprises me. Nami gets mad at Zoro for saying that he shouldn't apologize for being late. She says, "Shut up! More ships are gathering to the northeast coast. We have to get to the ship. Like, let's get out of here." And we get to see the next panel. Actually, we get to see the Marines are closing in on the giant ship. I think that coast is where Bonnie and them are.
Yeah.
And then Nami says, "Yeah, we don't want to land on the water, only to get bombarded to bits." So Stussy has another interesting character moment where she says, "Oh, I'm so glad that like they're basically like we did all we could for them. I'm so glad we finished our mission." But I don't know what I should do now. Without Stella around, who do I live for? And it kind of just makes you think about that moment in the Kuma flashback when she's like, yo, we're both, you know, like we don't have, neither of us have free will, right? Or are gonna have free will. So, and Vegapunk, by the way, he fought back on that. He said, no, bro, you're a human. You have, you know, thoughts and emotions and a mind. Also, don't forget that log of that one chapter where they show Vegapunk's writing in his journal when they made Stussy, you know, like talked about how they recreated a whole human, and he described her as a human being and not a clone or anything like that. Mm-hmm. So all this clone, who's a real person, that kind of stuff, the consciousness, the mind, what makes up a human being, what's a soul, all that stuff, it's still a major theme of Egghead, and we'll get to see more of Stussy hearing it now. What do you guys think of Kaku's little reaction? A little
He looks like sad, but in an understanding way. Like a part
Yes,
of me thinks that
absolutely.
she's going to help him get out, and they're gonna like help each other. Like a part of me thinks maybe Rob Lucci left him, and he feels a little abandoned right now. And he's
Yes.
like, "What?" Like he was like, "That was my mate. That was my best man." And he just bounced. Even though Rob Lucci did show that he cared when he talked to Mars, right?
Kaku just wouldn't
But
know. Yeah.
Kako wouldn't know that right now.
Yeah.
So I could definitely see them being like these two teaming up, getting out of there, and then I don't know what would happen after that. Because they're bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Stussy's badass, bro. I need to see more Stussy, dog. I'm not
Yeah,
gonna lie.
I really Kaku, like, his second time in the story. If this is all he does, it's fair. But yeah, I do want to see more Stussy, especially because she really hasn't been done much in terms of like throughout the whole story. So yeah, I want to see more, especially because she's a clone of a Rock Pirates
Yeah,
member.
facts.
There's a lot to her, and I
And a
mean,
succubus, bro. That whatever, like her
whatever
whole
her devil fruit is, yeah, we're
yeah,
definitely gonna get more now that you bring that up as well. We're definitely
And
gonna
a
get more of it.
former CP
Yes.
Zero agent.
facts.
So
So she knows shit too. Like she knows more
Yeah, yeah.
more than
yeah.
than we know. You know what I mean?
They showed her in the Big Mom Tea Party. She was with all of those underworld people, and I'm
Facts.
so glad I remember to say that because a random thing that I saw a theory about. If you guys remember this dude, I mean, you guys are in my stream, right? You guys can see this guy.
Oh, hold up.
Oh yeah, him.
You guys remember this panel, this cover page of Mads, and it shows that he kind of funded their operation.
Yes, yes, yes,
Pretty interesting.
Oh
yes, 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 yes,
yeah.
yes, yes,
Another
yes.
thing, about Vegapunk is that there's I don't know if I'm gonna be able to find it, but if you guys remember the chapter where Franky, oh boom, I did find it. Let's go. The chapter where Kuma and them were, yeah, this page right here. They're in Egghead. They're working on the treatment for Bonnie and Kuma. This cargo ship, it says Umid cargo ship. I remember we talked about it very
Yes,
briefly,
we did.
but um all those people are
Part of him.
these these underworld dudes. Yeah, this is Umit, and this is the cargo ship guy. This is Dufeld, and this is Stussy here at the tea
Yeah.
party.
Wait, and Morgan.
um,
Yep.
Morgan's being with all these people is very interesting. But by the way, something pretty interesting is that in the Big Mom Whole Cake arc, Stussy. When the guy Dufeld is going for the tomato box, everyone thinks it's a treasure when it's a bomb. Stussy shoots him and stops him from getting it to claim it for the world government. But it's kind of interesting to think that guy funded Mads, and so she wouldn't exist without him. But she ends up Loki kind of killing him, shooting him in Whole Cake, and we had no idea how intertwined they were. It's just crazy how Oda's world comes apart sometimes.
That and then
Yeah.
she was also the only one that like after that because she saw the tomato box explode. So she's the only one that knows what caused that explosion too. Just
Yeah. Just yeah, pretty crazy stuff, man. Oda's world's always crazy. So I hope we get more of Sussy for sure.
agreed.
So we get more action for the Straw Hats. We're in Sanji's so we were Sanji's group, and I feel bad for Sanji in this panel. He got rocked. I don't know what happened to him, but he's literally folded on the ground.
Yeah.
Bonnie is in her giant form trying to fight Venus Juro.
Yeah.
But I don't know which one Oimo, which one's Kashi, but this giant's knocked out too. He hears he hears I think one of the girls they talk about a bioresponse detected maybe in the lab or whatever. So one thing he decides to do, he jumps off one of the giants and he wants to take care of Bonnie because Bonnie obviously controls the pacifista, and he sends a slash at her, and the only reason the slash missed her, even though Franky tries to save her, it still would have hit her, but her future form runs out. The giant distorted future, and so she becomes too small to get hit by it. The slash continues and hits the mast of the giant ship and destroys it. And she says, "Yeah, I can't hold the distorted future form for too long." So that was one panel away from Bonnie dying right there.
Right.
I was about to say, yo, the goat Frankie coming through, boy. Like
Yeah, but low key, like, yeah, if you look at the panel, like, it looks like it's still gonna hit her.
No, you're right. Yeah, facts.
So we get right back to the broadcast though, and with a little bit of like something we could have guessed, but confirmation. The voice entry came to a close with the defeat Joy Boy, and I think it's no coincidence that he shows these two
figures.
Zunisha and the robot.
Yes.
Because obviously we know Zunisha is a companion of Joy Boy. He said it as much, and the robot was apologizing to Joy Boy a few chapters ago. So lots of interesting Like they were there 800 years ago when they lost.
Yeah.
Venus Joro has had enough. He says, "How long must you jabber on, Vegapunk?" And one of the giants is like, "Yo, where's he going, dog?" And so
it's kind of funny. I was laughing when I saw that.
He's like, "Yo, man, enough of y'all. I don't even. I'm not worried about y'all." Before we even talk about the slash, the reason he got up there is because I guess he heard the Goro say on the Discord call and the telepathy saying that like, "Yo, there's way too much bio responses up here for us to like take care of them with just Conqueror's Haki," and he decides to just f this. He does the law thing where he cuts the entire island in half. Not Egghead, just the sky island above it.
Yeah, the stratosphere, or whatever.
Yeah, the lavosphere.
The lavosphere. Yeah, you're right.
And we get to see the Seraphim and the CP0, the CP5 agents falling down. Vegapunk's message continues. He said, "The Void Century came to close with the defeat, but not before leaving vast permanent scars of war across the face of the world." And we get to this, as the action continues, the CP5 agents are falling. And I guess I have to read the broadcast and in sequence of the reactions. So Vegapunk says, "What are you guys talking about? The world is made up of a series of islands. Sailing between them is difficult, and many people never experiencing anything but their own culture." And the guys I don't know where this place is actually. I don't know if anyone knows, but he says, "Yeah, obviously, everyone knows the sea's dangerous. Haha. You guys want to have something you wanted to say about the culture and people being disconnected?"
So I think I said this before too. I think I said something along the lines of, if you notice in the One Piece world, there are no continents.
Yeah.
Right? And I think Vegapunk alludes to that too when he says continental fragments or whatever.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So he said, so there's no big land masses, in the One Piece world.
Yeah, they're all islands. Everything's island.
Yeah, everything's island. And someone, I remember it was either Morge or whatever a while back also said this theory. It wasn't his theory. I think it was someone else's. But what if every single, and I don't mean just the island, but every single island. And Vegapunk says, as much like we basically live, like the islands are like what are basically the top of,
What's left,
from of what's left, but like every single island that is around is probably not to every degree, but like most islands are probably an accumulation of one big continent that got sunk, or most continents got sunk, which would make sense to me because if the water levels, imagine if they somehow brought the water levels all the way down back to where they were originally. Can you imagine not only how high they are? Because
I think we're going on a little ahead. Let's finish it up because I don't think they mentioned about the continent.
Yeah. We'll finish this part.
Okay.
Yeah. So these people react to what he's saying, and then what's happening now, like with the world now, this shared understanding of it doesn't apply to the people, the world of 1,000 years ago, before a cataclysm that Maud was talking about occurred during the Void Century. We're going to see Shimosuki Village, where Zoro grew up. They're training a new generation of people. His teacher's just like, the dragon face. Causing the world to sink once before. We are currently living on the pieces of a continent that existed long ago. And the Revolutionary Army is just shocked. The world of a millennium ago now slumbers unseen at the bottom of the sea. Vegapunk goes on to say that, in fact, one can assume that in the past there were a number of continents we know nothing about. We get to see Kokoyashi Village, Nami's town, and Nojiko just walks off, which I think was a very interesting point. She says, "You can tell me about it later. I'm going to check on the tangerine groves." And it kind of goes to show that, like, dog, what am I supposed to do about this as a regular human being in One Piece, right? Like, sure, that's a crazy, you're telling me a lot of crazy stuff, but I'm just one guy. So I think that was a very cool reaction, like very realistic, as something people would do today.
I think it was also an like a callback, because when I believe at the time when Luffy was in that village and there was news going around, he was like, I don't care, and
yeah. I remember. He's like, I don't care that she, like, whatever was going on. I think it's because she stabbed herself or something.
Yeah.
Like, she was wilding, and Luffy's like, I'm here to save Nami. That's all I care about.
Yeah.
I definitely I can see that. And yes, this is the end of the. So he says, if the world was still the same as it was in the past, then the act of erasing 100 years of history would be simply unthinkable and impossible. However, it makes much more sense when you understand that the rise in sea level over that century was 200 meters. Boom! That's the drop right there.
Jeez. Yeah.
Ridiculous.
So yeah, just a huge bombshell that I think like based on last chapter the chapter before, we could guess that the reason the world's underwater is because of continued use of of Uranus, right, or whatever
Or ancient weapons, maybe
whatever
all
ancient
three
weapon,
of
other
them.
exactly right. But now we get the exact number, 200 meters. Remember that one shot of it rose sea level by 1 meter. So in the Void Century, it was used like what 200 times.
No,
Yeah.
that might not even be the case. I think it's just like Matt said, all three of them connected somehow.
Yeah, it might be like more of them being used. Like another thing I wonder about the Void Century was it conflict for 100 years, or was it conflict for the last like 20? Wait, also
No, because
wait,
they
wait,
said
wait! I just
a
realized
100-year
something.
conflict. Did they not?
Yeah, no, I think so, but I just realized something that Joe Boy has to be a giant.
Yeah, to live that
He
long.
was born 900 years ago, and then the defeat was the end of the Void Century.
Yeah.
Unless he was 100 years old as a human fighting, which is not happening. Wait, actually, that's like basic confirmation. Oh fuck, that's crazy. Damn.
And also, if everyone was a fucking giant, it makes sense that they would need to raise it for 200 meters, right? You know what I mean? Like, because like 1 meter, I mean, did so much that we saw, but it's not gonna mess up the giants in any way. If the government's trying to destroy Joy Boy and his whole crew, and we're all assuming they're all fucking giants, especially like Zunisha, the robot, and everything. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. I think 1 meter, even 5 meters, not gonna cut it. But yeah, like they're also like not huge. They're like 10 meters, I think, max 12. But yeah, still like they got to go crazy with it. Another thing I think that I wonder about is it couldn't have been just the world government firing off the ancient weapons.
It could have been
Like
both.
I think the ancient kingdom probably like
Yeah,
impacted this.
especially if the ancient kingdom was so fucking advanced with their technology. Like,
Yeah, if they had like at least one or two of the ancient weapons.
Mhm.
Well, we know one of them is Poseidon and the other is Pluton.
Yeah.
I think my estimation that it was the world government that had control of Uranus, and it was the ancient kingdom that had Pluton, maybe because Pluton ended up in Wano, which is obviously a big ally of the ancient kingdom. So yeah, they were really fighting with the ancient weapons, and they talk about vast scars, like they messed the world up, bro. Think about how many people must have died for 200 meters.
Yeah.
To get covered.
Yeah.
For like it's great. And Doflamingo said like that 5 meters would probably take out most major cities in the world.
Bro, but it also makes sense why that arc, Noah's arc, Joy Boy's arc, whatever, was so big. You know, because they're trying to save as many people as they can from this fucking 200-meter flood that happened. Like,
absolutely, man. And now we know exactly why the world government was on the red line. I think the red line is 50,000 meters up, so they weren't even coming close to getting touched by the flood. Yeah, just crazy stuff. So we get to see the marine reaction. 200 meters. Talk about how the battleships are only 60 meters. Like they're just shocked, which is very understandable.
Yeah.
Mocktown is just laughing at this guy. We get to see a legendary Drum Island. Dalton is just wondering how does this even happen, and Chris says there's still so much to learn about the world.
Which shows to you that she knows things too, right? Because
she's
hinted, she's hinted that she's lived a long. She said she's lived a long time,
143 years, something like that.
Yeah, which is crazy. Also, I did like that the Marines were like, Cypripole and Seraphim are coming down, or falling. We gotta save them.
Yeah. I definitely a cool little.
Because that means that they're trying to go back. Yo, real quick, in the Mocktown, that one guy in the middle that's not fucking laughing. Who is that dude? He looks mad fucking familiar.
He looks like the guy that I know exactly who it is. I don't know his name. I think because I saw a lot Artur post about him. He's just some random guy that was in Bellamy's crew, I think.
Okay, Bellamy's crew. All right. For a second, I thought
Roshio. Yeah. I'll send it to the Twitter chat.
Okay. Because I was
not gonna lie. I don't know this nigga, but
no, I know. I just thought for a second, right? I
He
thought,
definitely stands out too.
what if Kid was there watching this, like recovering?
It does look like that. That's actually it actually does look like the Scarecrow guy. That's actually a good pickup.
Yeah, that's what got that. I was like, because they're showing Mocktown. That's what we got to look to see if like anyone's not laughing, or like there's a
He
reason why
stands
they're
out.
showing.
He's stone faced. Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah, he's
So
definitely meant to stand out. I love this panel. I love this last panel. It's Miss Golden Week, Miss
yes,
Valentine. I think this is the mole woman.
yeah, the one that
Uh,
fought Usopp.
yeah. I know this last one is someone too, but I don't know. This is one of the Broke work members. Just cool, and they're all just chilling, not really saying much. And he points out that the mountain is over there is about 100, 200 meters tall. Like, imagine sea rising that high. It sounds like hell. How many people must have died?
It's crazy,
Yeah, people got cooked, bro.
dude.
As for why the sea level rose so much,
That's
it would
dark,
be
bro. That's dark. Oh my god,
bro. They killed everyone, bro. It's
that's
crazy.
crazy.
And like he says, now we know how a whole century of history could just be gone.
Yep.
It's all underwater.
It makes sense.
I have some questions though, but anyway, I'll finish the chapter. It would be natural to assume the work of a sudden natural disaster, but I can state for a fact that this was a man-made calamity. Morgan just explodes. That's just crazy. Vivi's like, shut the fuck up. I try to listen. If such a cataclysm were caused by natural forces, then the initial disaster would have spanned several centuries and inflicted so but continual damage upon the world. But by any measurement, climatology, geology, environmental science, and atmospheric science, this dramatic shift could not have happened within a single century. So the cause is something else. And when I detected the rise in worldwide sea levels the other day, I had my answer. I knew the cause and confirmed its existence. The ancient weapons that sank into the world, into the sea 800 years ago, still exist today and await the moment that they stir once again. And as he's talking, the camera pans to Marijois.
Oof.
In other words, the vast war that arose during the Void Century, and we get to see Emu front and center, never came to an end.
Ooh, I got
Chapter 11,
goosebumps.
15, and we get chapter next week. Thank God.
Yes, no break, baby.
No break. God
Oh,
bless.
what a chapter,
Um,
Oda, dude. So,
Crazy. Ooh.
what you were saying about disconnected, right? Before it's all starting to fucking make sense, bro. Emu wants the world disconnected, right? Because they were all unified for the most part, except for those 20 countries that made the alliance. They wanted them disconnected, not being able to communicate with one another, or even go to island helping each other. Like, and that's why Luffy is so fucking important, because what happens every time Luffy leaves an island? They follow him in a way. You know what I mean? Like and he's literally connecting everyone together.
And what did Mihawk say? Is his greatest strength in Marineford?
Yes, dude, and like that's why like Luffy being the second coming of Joy Boy, like, and he's like,
Bro,
all right, you may have disconnected us, but I'm bringing it all back together, son. And like, dude, it's crazy, bro.
And
Oda,
people talk about like the One Piece. And by the way, random, just a side note, but they talk about the word the One Piece in Japanese is like the Hitotsunagi Great Treasure or something like that. And some people say our reading of it is the thread that connects us all. Here's another tweet by Ohara about what the world might have looked like.
oh yeah, I actually watched that video yesterday.
I haven't seen. I wish I read the chapter secrets that he always makes, but I haven't. So we get to see like he's basing the continents on where the islands are.
Yep.
So all these islands. So East Blue, like this is the Goa Kingdom somewhere. All these islands, and if you look, this is supposed to be the red line, right? If we assume the red line is not, they're supposed to be there, right there in the middle, all blue, the connected sea. That would be. It wouldn't be huge, so you could travel along it, without dying. And assuming there weren't pirates before, it would be safe to travel. I don't know about the Sea Kings. I'm assuming that was still a problem, but still, like the world was much more connected before. And like you said, Emu's goal to disconnect people, it quiets the flame of revolution and disables people from being able to rise up. There's also the fact that with the ability to control the sea level, the fact that people with devil fruits are hooked is like that's why some of the best Marines have the best devil fruits. Like they don't have to worry about them if they just flood the world. That's that control over
not just that,
people.
but I'm assuming that Joy Boy's crew, Joy Boy had the Nika Devil Fruit.
Mm-hmm.
Emu is probably like the best way to fucking kill this dude is we gotta flood him. We gotta flood everyone. Anyone with the devil fruit is against me, and we just gonna use that water and just kill everybody.
Absolutely.
Because like, what are they
True.
supposed to do? That's why it never made sense, right? Why would these people have devil fruits and then be pirates? That's why because those devil fruits still carry on, right? Like they go to the next fruit, whatever. So they're still going as a legacy type of thing. So that's never going to end. But like it's absolutely insane, dude.
It's crazy. We're literally getting the secrets of the world revealed to us, and it's
So
just doesn't
my
feel real.
my question to you though is that I don't think Emu. I think the reason why Emu they stopped at 200 and didn't go further is because he didn't have the Mother Flame. And whatever power source he was using at the time ran out.
I completely agree with you.
Okay,
Yeah, I agree.
that's why it's so important that when Vegapunk recreated it, they're like, no, we need to get that shit. Like,
Yeah, like, and
And that
that's
lets
why.
you.
Sorry, Mal, go ahead.
I was just gonna say that lets you know when Vegapunk said it's still ongoing. I don't think that they achieved the goal that they were trying to
facts.
achieve 800 years ago. I think that's why, I think they just settled because it didn't seem like uh, that they needed to continue on with their plan at the time. But it feels like they're still fighting a war against something. You know what I mean? Like
And
they're like, hey, we need that mother plane. Yeah. Vegapunk. Yeah. Bring that over here. Bring that over here. Bring that over right here.
we know
Like,
exactly why though. Like remember 1085, he talks about Lily and he says those
Yes.
vexing poneglyphs are like the one thorn in my side, like for 800 years. So like the fact that like they Kingdom was able to get their message across, um, like is the problem because we obviously the Joy Boy knew when he made the promise to the Poseidon at that time. He said like someone will come to show you how to use your power. Talking about Luffy, of course. And all like Odin knowing that in 20 years Joy Boy is gonna return. Like all this stuff that somehow Joy Boy and H Kingdom, which another question is what I have to know is how they knew that in 800 years they're gonna get another chance. I have to know how they know that, but
It's
somehow
got
they did
got to
know
do
it.
with Toki's fruit, bro. Maybe.
Maybe,
Maybe.
yeah. Yeah. Maybe she planted the seed somehow. Well, Odin, man, who knows?
Because like we don't
But
know. Toki could have been from way back then. Like
yeah, she most
she was
likely
she was
was.
she was born before the voice entry ended. She was born like 870 something. Uh,
Yeah.
so yeah, no, you're absolutely. And so basically that the biggest problem for the world government is that they got their message across to the future.
yeah.
That and think about it. You know, another thing to think about is that Joy Boy lost, and we know that the voice entry ended with their defeat. And Emu only refers to Lily spreading the poneglyphs as a blunder. So it almost seems to me that the world government had basically rounded up the poneglyphs and had them like
Yeah, and
locked
then
up.
Lily fucking betrayed them, sent them
Yes.
out, and then they flooded everything because these poneglyphs are what huge and heavy as fuck, bro. So if they sink to the sea, no one's gonna get them. For the most part,
Right.
because they said
Yeah,
that there's mad poneglyphs, but we've only seen a few.
Yeah, I'm about to say there could be a bunch of poneglyphs that are submerged 200 meters underwater,
And
and that's the reason why the Great Flood happened
that,
because it's like
that's
they wanted
information.
to control history. Yeah, because
Yes.
if you take anything from history class or any like telling of war documentaries, anything like that, is that most of the time, I'll say most of the time because there is an instance where this wasn't the case, but most of the time, history is told by the winners.
Hmm.
yeah.
Um,
Emu spoke
so
this shit literally.
right, but this could be different because since they beat Joy Boy, they just didn't want to um they didn't want to tell the history at all, not even in a propaganda type of way. Because they didn't even. I mean, it's illegal to research or to look up the poneglyphs, right?
Yep. Yep.
That means they chose to forego a positive telling of their side of the story to just saying, all right, just
Wipe up
don't
everything.
even look into it altogether.
Yeah.
I don't care like what you come away from that story. Don't even look into it. That means that at some point like Vegapunk alluded, he said that it's kind of hard. It's hard to tell who was in the right. I'm guessing Oda's going to lean in a direction at first that like the reasoning behind them fighting is super gray. Like it could probably go lean very much either way depending on who you are as a person and how you feel. But once they won, or the reason why they won might have been so despicable or the after effects were so despicable that they did not care for anyone to learn the history whatsoever. Because I could, in my opinion, I don't know how you couldn't have. Oh, well, that's how you couldn't. You couldn't really do it if there were other history books that tell a different story, or you know what I mean? Because that's why we lost all that history, we lost all that information, et cetera, et cetera. So probably they just didn't want that altogether, and Lily probably betrayed him. Like, hold on, wait, you can't just take away the history. Like, what are you doing? Like, and they like, nah, we taking away the history. And so she sent them out, and then they were like, all right, you know what? I'm gonna hit the button, and then they hit the button, and then 200 meters of flooding just happened over time. I don't know if it was all at once. So I would say it's probably over time.
Yeah, I think it was over the conflict. They used it like once every battle, twice to like bring things to a close. And
then I was just going to say on top of that, if you remember Noah's Ark, the story, what was it? 40 days, 40 days of flooding, plus a couple of like months of the world, or a year or something like that. A year, 2 years, right? Yeah, of the world flooded, and then it took like another year for the flood to come down, and then a couple of months went by where he sent out a dove to see if there, yeah. So okay, yeah. So it if it's anything close to that story, I can see, as you said, as the conflict was happening, the flooding was happening, and then on top of that, I'm still kind of wondering if the red line is the reason for it, because whatever is below, like, Laboon and the other whales are attacking the red line. Maybe what's ever 200 meters below the red line is what's causing the flooding to happen in the first place. Maybe.
So yeah, I wanted to ask you guys, like, so because we saw Uranus, right? What we believe was Uranus destroy Lucia Island, and it just destroyed the whole fucking island, made a hole into the earth. But how do we get more water out of it? You know what I mean? Like how?
Oh,
so I was thinking it was possibly because of Poseidon, though. Would that not make sense?
So I think maybe I'm thinking too much of real life phenomena, but you know how like like global warming is real, or climate change, whatever they call it now.
Yeah,
climate change is a real thing. So the theory goes that at some point, most likely, the reason why it's so dangerous for climate change, and it's probably the number one problem in today's society, is because if the glacier caps melt, the whole, not just like one part, but like kind of the whole world, the whole world's water levels
would rise.
Will rise.
Yeah, places like New York and Vancouver would literally be underwater.
Yeah. And New York has some of the highest, buildings in
the world.
Like in the world. Yeah. So
I'm up on one. That's just crazy.
Literally.
When that earthquake happened, bro, and I felt the building move, sway to side, I said, "Oh no, I'm on the 48th floor right now. This is crazy. I should not be feeling this."
Emu was coming for you, bro.
Bro, trying to take me out, bro.
Yeah, but that's how it will probably happen. When continents or things, technically, the glacier caps are like equivalent to like, what, like a country, dang near. or
Yeah,
something.
Antarctica is basically like a freaking continent by itself, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yo, you know what I just heard? Because you got me thinking now, Mod, right? Because they did mention an ice continent before. Because Don Chin Chao had to
Oh,
hit
facts.
that shit perfectly to break it open, right? So
Mhm.
what if
Hmm.
there was another part of it or another where Ennis Lobby was, and they're like, let's just bomb this ice continent, melt it completely, and then just that's how they flooded everything with
Well,
Uranus. Like, cause
the
like
thing is though, like,
you know how you could go what has real quick because you were saying before like how the ancient kingdom might have had Poseidon and Pluto because it makes
yeah,
sense
yeah, yeah.
them because Poseidon's with the fishman and Pluto is tucked away on Wano, so that was definitely done on purpose.
Absolutely, and I think that combination is probably super powerful. But the thing is that a place like Lelucia that we saw was just like like mountain, like a regular like place with rock texture, not anything not anything frigid or cold, and destroying that left a hole that pushes sea level up. And I think that's really what it is. I think the the hole is just so uniform
Yeah.
that I think that my only guess is that it pushed the actual like surface of the rock formations
Oh,
into the core, which
I
had to
see.
displace the water.
Got it. That makes sense
That's my
because
only guess.
that wouldn't make because then my theory wouldn't make sense with Lelucia's example because they didn't have ice. So how did they raise
Mhm.
1 meter? You know what I mean? So
And I think if like if it was continued uses of the ancient weapons that created the flood, then not everyone lives in a frozen place. What would bombing a frozen place do, right?
yeah, that's true.
So I think that for at least for how it's used for Uranus, maybe Pluton also has this effect. But just insane. I think you guys brought up the red line, which I think is a great thing to think about. That because dog, we actually know that the Lunarians lived there before the world government.
Hmm.
And even if the red line is still not a natural phenomenon, it at least existed before the world government and the void century. Um, but why then did it exist? Why was it created? How was it created if it wasn't through the use of an ancient weapon or um, the the uh, the world government's power or whatever? It's crazy to think about because like one of the biggest formations of the world was there before this what we view as the major conflict. But no, One Piece had a world before the Void Century, um,
Hmm.
and you had to question who the Ancient Kingdom even are, right? If they were super advanced compared to everyone else, like why?
And it,
If they were
so
just if they lived on a continent beside people, that means they weren't that uh disconnected. How
yeah,
were they alone so advanced, right?
yeah.
It's just the world of One Piece before is
And,
going to become a big thing.
and the fact that we haven't like we still after 1,800, 900 years, whatever, they still haven't even touched that level of technology is really
Bro,
ridiculous, bro. It's crazy.
crazy, bro.
It's crazy.
And
It.
that's with Vegapunk getting the ability to even work with these things, and he
Yeah.
still hasn't gotten to like that level. And that's Vegapunk, dog. Like, who are these people, bro?
It's they were I honestly think that the 800 900 years ago or whatever, I think the world, mostly the ancient kingdom though, was probably like, I think the world was just in general more advanced. And I think that 800 900 years ago, the peak tier of human evolution when it comes to science, technology, and stuff was probably achieved back then.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then when when the flood happened and stuff, all that progress got wiped away. Because I mean, think about it. If information exists, you just keep building on top of
What's there? Yeah.
what's there. But if it's all gone, you're starting from ground zero.
Yeah.
And all that progress gets destroyed. And so even your best scientists of today looks like chump change in comparison
To
to.
back down. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I think that that's what it is that all the all levels of human advancement were sent to a halt. I mean, you think about it, how everybody does things back then. I mean, it's funny because I've always looked at One Piece. I always thought that One Piece takes place in an era where it was before like modern technology like majorly hit the human population. because of like how the world naturally looks, how everyone dress and their cultures and et cetera, et cetera. Obviously, there's some modernism that is like evoked into the story as well a little bit, but it don't feels like that's their whole world. You know what I mean? Where it's like you look at our world today, our whole world is based off this modern post-technology era, you know, society. So if they, but maybe I've been looking at it wrong. Maybe we all been looking at it wrong. If I'm not the only one that's looked at it like that, maybe One Piece, especially since if they destroyed everything, their calendar year might be different and everything. Because don't their calendar year is like in, or at least people in real life, they say like post void century 400.
They have like two ages: age of sea circle and age of heaven, and we don't really know when is when.
Yeah, exactly.
I had no idea.
So if we get that, if we get more information as to what is what, I feel like we get a much clearer picture on like the actual timeline in terms of like how advanced, how far along are we actually? Because it could be the case, like I said, that human society was at its like peak of technological advancement. I see like, you know, they could have had like a super advanced version of washer and dryers, but I see in today's society that people hang their clothes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So that's what I mean. Like maybe at some point that all got washed away, and then now we're at a weird place in that human history where for 800 years straight, 900 years straight, people been truthfully, this is we call that the void century. To those people that lived back then, looking at today, this could have been the dark millennium.
Yeah.
Like,
absolutely.
key.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
So
that like,
no. So I was just gonna say off of Mod what you were saying, right?
Yeah.
All that progress with the scientists is done, and not just that, not that the fact that they're starting from scratch, but this world got turned into a water world. And what happens? Like you said, island to island, they just become scavengers. You know what I mean? Because they don't have the resources. So that's why it's been taking so many years for like Vegapunk and for any of the scientists to get to where they are today. Like because they don't have the resources. They gotta travel so much. They didn't have that to do that either, to go place to place to find whatever they can find. And it kind of reminded me of the movie Waterworld that came out a long time ago. Because the main guy, I forgot, I think it was Kevin Costner. He started developing gills. Like the people started to evolve. So, what are some of the people that that died in the flood started turning into fishmen? You know what I mean? Like, and maybe the fishman is the next form of evolution for the humans. But
could be, yeah.
whatever human was left, and Strider, thank you, because once you said that in the chat, Strider Kiryu, it clicked to me, and then it started to make me think about that movie, because he was the only one, like the people that survived up top used to shun him because they're like, oh, you got gills, you're a freak, you're a mutant type of shit. But that's just a natural form of evolution. If the whole world turned to water, then how you know what I mean? Like they need to be able to go under, and so it makes sense because like the fishermen have the strength, they're able to live on both land and sea, you know. So it's just so many questions now, man. Like
another crazy
what
point.
it
Just to go off that is that another like crazy thematic point about that is how much power the fishermen will have to save the world from the flood. They control Noah's Ark.
They've been protecting it this whole time.
But they've also been segregated and discriminated against, tortured, turned to slaves. So them finding their humanity to save the people of the world who shunned them is another big part. Think about
huge.
Exactly. And I think the evolution of people is a big thing in One Piece, considering the differences of the races, like the Shandians, Skypians, Birkins. They're all still human. Giants are just big people. Buccaneers are people with giants' blood, according to Ivankov, if we believe that. So like I think there's definitely some common ancestor. I think the void century is too early, just because we know that the Fishmen also existed back then because of Joy Boy's promise to Poseidon.
Mhm.
But I do believe that there's some connection there with their evolution, without a doubt.
Yeah, definitely.
That's crazy, bro. What?
Yeah,
One Piece OD,
I
dude.
would- it-
Crazy,
yeah.
bro. There's so much stuff under the hood, which is why like when you think about those things and you know you look at the theories, stuff like this chapter hits so hard because
Yeah.
you're like, wow, it's finally getting to us. And kind of like that the Age of Sea Circle thing. That's small things that are like kind of in the background, but it was mentioned by Robin of all people when she was talking to what's his name, Crocodile, when she was lying about what was on the poneglyph in Alabasta. She talked about the Age of Heaven and how Alabasta was conquered. So, like, there's just these small things in the background that will become important now. And another crazy thing that Oda hid in the background was that, if you guys are still in my Discord stream, Jinbe's little cover story of him being underwater and finding underwater ruins, and the
Yes.
underwater ruins having a poneglyph.
Yes. So that's what I'm saying, dog.
Bro, this is 780, 778, bro. That was 200 chapters ago. Like,
It's crazy. Even when we went to remember when we found the poneglyph in Fishman Island, it was in ruins, right? Like
yeah.
so it didn't click then, but now it's starting to click now. Like that. Damn, they're living on an island, and still, I forgot the whole thing with the tree underwater, like how they're getting their light. Like I know that there
Oh,
was
it's the sun. It's the Suntree Eve. That
yes,
the roots from above Marijua come down, and the roots bring light to the underwater.
that's crazy. All right,
Bro, the One Piece is so, like all the thematic stuff, the sun, and it's all gonna come into play. And another thing to think about is that the next island is gonna be Elbaf, the
yeah,
people that have
yeah.
the most connection to Nika so far.
And they have all the poneglyphs too.
They probably have, yeah, they have the O'Hara stuff. We're gonna
Yep.
see Saul again, and think about this. Think about the fact that what happened before the Void Century is gonna become important,
Yeah.
and no one will have a better kept record, in my opinion, than these giants because they lived 300 years each of them. So like they're not that old. Like 300 years, like 900 years ago is your grandfather's time to them.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah. Facts.
It's actually insane. How much I think we're gonna get, and they are also the ones that have the fable of Nika, right? And Vegapunk mentions the fables of Elbaf. These things that they have, like their history, is some big compendium. It's some history that is important to the world, and I think we're gonna get a ton of stuff that will become very interesting to know from the next arc, Elbaf, about who the Ancient Kingdom were, why they were so advanced, why they were the peak of human technology compared to everyone else around them, why the Lunarians were at the red line. Yeah, just bro, like,
Bro.
what's going on? What's going on, man?
Yo, and you know what I started thinking too? Like how
Talk to
the
me.
government needs the Mother Flame to power up their ancient weapon and stuff. Bro, what if fucking Luffy eats the Mother Flame? I know I talked to you asked about it like a week or
Mhm.
two ago, because I was like, what if he eats it? You know what I mean? Like, and that powers him up to not, and he doesn't like that takes away his weakness from Gear 5 of losing energy.
Yeah, and that could complete his Gear 5, right? Like in
Yes,
the sense that because I talked about in the chat about how he was the one that powered up the giant robot. It heard the
yes,
Jungle Liberation and then got up.
yes.
But the Mother Flame is what powers the Uranus, probably, right? So
Mhm.
maybe the merging of the two is the complete power source that Vegapunk was talking about, the Eternal Flame.
Right,
Like,
exactly.
I think that's a cool idea. I messed with that idea a lot, bro.
And then next thing you
Lu-
know, the government's gonna try to get Luffy and use him to power up whatever that they need.
1,000%, man. I just can't wait to see all these. I can't wait to see Pluton in the flesh. I can't wait to see Uranus. I can't wait to see, like, I just want to know who the Ancient Kingdom is. Who were these people? Why was Joy Boy, who's probably a giant, born there? Like,
Yeah,
man. And yeah, another thing I want to point out was that I think we talked about, Mod mentioned about how Oda is right now he's leaning towards the fact that the Ancient Kingdom conflict was kind of gray, right? It seems like we're not sure if how evil either side was. But at the end of the day, if Joy Boy was on the side of the Ancient Kingdom, and by all accounts, he seems like a good guy and he
yeah,
hung with good people. His companions all seem like they do the right thing. Um, it might be a better of two evil choices. Like, he might not have been exactly what the Ancient Kingdom wanted, the Ancient Kingdom might not have been exactly on his side. But he said, like, it's better than Emu.
yeah.
Right.
But yeah, it's just interesting to know that he was really locked in with them and that their defeat was the exact ending of the Void Century. I just want to talk a little bit about the panel of this underwater place. It looks like a kingdom of sorts.
Yes.
First off, this place is fucking huge.
Yes, that fish is
Look
huge.
at that whale in comparison to the building.
Bro, that's not even a whale. Oh, that whale, yeah, but that other
That whale,
thing,
yeah, and that sea king is obviously fucking
that
gigantic.
thing, oh my, that thing is scary, bro. I'm not
Yeah, it's
gonna
a little
lie.
terrifying. Looks like it has devil horns actually, but yeah,
Ooh.
I love this is some art from Oda, bro. This is like a work of art right here. This panel,
Yeah.
and I doubt this is the Ancient Kingdom. I doubt it,
No,
but it's just
It's
a huge
it's
ornate
possible.
like
It's
kingdom.
possible.
Yeah. Man, just imagine, like, honestly, it got me excited because I'm thinking, like, could you imagine if you were born into a world where mass people existed before you, and and culture and mass architecture existed before you, but it all got flooded? There's so much to learn,
Yeah.
and man, like whole teams diving up under to discover this technology, discover everything. This is honestly, this is why the fishmen probably like exist in this story, because they're the ones that could get access to this and then relay the information back above, for real, for real.
Facts.
Mm-hmm.
But also I wanted to say earlier that Emu and, well, actually the world government, that's why they got sent back to by 900 years of technology or whatever, or however many years before the void century happened, of technology, to the point where piracy is illegal. Because if we're being real, at least the best of them, the best of the of pirates were probably back then more like just sailors.
Mm-hmm.
And a sailor such as like those who discovered new land. I mean, you can use real life history books to reference different sailors that discovered things and all that other stuff. We're back in that time frame where discovery is important, because I mean, Gold Roger, he was the one that basically mapped out the whole what was it, the whole Grand Line? Was it just a New World or something like that? He mapped out.
It was the Grand Line, but they called it the world because he went around the world. Yeah, basically.
Yeah, so essentially what Gold Roger did was equivalent to like today's like sailor. So which what the world government don't like. So yeah, they just don't like anyone discovering things. That's why it's illegal it's super illegal to discover any poneglyphs and read them or whatever. But funny enough, those have worse penalties than someone pillaging and killing people. So that goes to show like where the government's priorities are.
Yeah.
Like,
weren't they also against Tom making the ship, the train, or no?
Nah, I think they let him make the train to save him from his sins of helping Roger.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, still, it's like someone like Roger, who was a big criminal who found the truth of the world. That's what they killed. That's what they were gonna kill Tom for, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, you're basically right. Like his actions were still something that they didn't want to have happen. Just a crazy chapter, and you know what, man? I still have no idea what's gonna happen next chapter.
I don't know, but I'm excited because there is no break next week, bro.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes, sir.
We're already pretty close to Thursday.
Yeah, so y'all be ready. Be on the lookout. We'll be back on Sunday next week, 11:30, 12 for
I have a
episode.
final question before we finish it. Before we get to episode 112.
Yes.
Because we know, I feel like the point of the broadcast is for the people of One Piece to turn against the world government and to finally realize that these guys have been hiding stuff from us.
Mm-hmm.
They might not be acting in our best interests. But I somehow don't think this is enough. I think that because all they know is that they fought a big war against a big kingdom, and the government can spin this. Let's say the broadcast ends here, which I don't think it will. That's my whole point.
Mm-hmm.
They can say, oh, like that kingdom was evil. Boom, and they'll believe them because of the world government. But do you guys think there's more that Vegapunk will broadcast for the world to finally turn against the world government? Is there more bombshells to be had?
I think there's definitely more bomb.
And what do you guys think those are exactly?
Ooh,
Um,
go ahead, man.
well, I think one bombshell that still hasn't that, like I said, Vegapunk keeps alluding to is like who was right and who was wrong.
Hmm.
I think that is very telling that Emu or whoever was in charge back then or still in charge today, because like I said, I don't know like who's all involved, who's still involved, or whatever. Um, that they don't want to tell that history, even if it's in a positive lighting of themselves.
Mhm.
They just want to scrap the whole thing altogether
Yeah.
and leave no room for ambiguity of like how this could be perceived or anything like that. Even if they tell it in a positive way. The enemy of freedom the enemy of freedom is the destruction of knowledge, like that. So, I mean, that's why One Piece whole theme is like, discovering new things and figuring out history, etc., etc. Like, if you don't have knowledge, you don't have freedom.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's true.
So,
That's why they keep calling it. This is the reverse Sahara, bro. This is destroy. This is going to destroy the world government. Inside out. Like
Mhm.
everyone, and it's also key for the Revolutionary Army to finally make a make a move.
mhm.
Um,
Yeah, but yeah, I think that's one bombshell we still need to see is like, who was right and who was wrong. I think that makes
I think I will say he's made it kind of clear that he feels like he can't say because he doesn't have. He said the cause eludes him. I'm not going to say who's right or wrong. I'm sure he believes in the H Kingdom, but he feels. It seems like he doesn't want to sway the opinion of the people with his own theories.
yeah,
yeah. When I say that, I mean like it. Oh, you talking about wait. You talking about what Vegapunk
Oh
still has
yeah,
to
I mean,
say?
what Vega was going to say for the broadcast as
Oh, I
well.
thought you were talking about overall. Like,
no, no,
No.
no.
is
We're
there
definitely going to
still
find that
any?
out for sure.
Okay. If it's just Vegapunk, yeah, I still think we got um maybe because it doesn't seem like he's going to go into in-depth history of the voice century itself, which I mean it would, like you said before, people felt like that basically he was spoiling too much and that should be left for Robin. We're probably getting like the details of like the history through Robin's lens, and
Yeah,
then this everything here is like the result of the from what happened
yeah,
in
yeah,
terms of like what Vegapunk is talking about. So if that's the case, we might get like the reveal of what the ancient weapon is, like Uranus and Pluto and stuff like that. He'll probably tell like what the other I mean maybe what the other ancient weapon is, but I don't know. It's really hard to say because if he feels like the war is still ongoing, then he may feel like the people need to be equipped to know what is out there.
Mhm.
yeah.
Uh,
That.
so
So I'm going off of
yeah,
what you were saying because there's a reason why he has the video up, bro. He's
Facts.
going to show physical proof, and I believe, right in my head right now, we're somehow going to see transponder cells been recording show live feed of the battle going on right now between Luffy as Joy Boy, as in his Gear 5 form, fighting Orkuri. And I think we might see, because in my like right now I'm going crazy right now. I'm definitely in fucking a million piece right now.
Let's get it,
So
bro.
so I'm just like I'm thinking like what would be crazy to really show off, like really hammer to the public, to get them ready for what's to come. We see the Straw Hats leaving, like they escape, and at that moment when they're about to escape, that's when we see Uranus, because there's something in the clouds. I know we talked about it before. It looked like the clouds were getting dark, and we believe that Emu is definitely using Uranus to come and destroy Egghead completely. And what if like you see some of that happening, and then boom, the fucking feed goes out. You know what I mean?
Mm.
And then we also have Morgan that's around there, and he sees it for himself. He's like, no, this shit needs to go out. Like this word needs to go out now. And then he got pictures and he shows the fucking rest of the world type of shit. Because we know Morgan's is there because he's eavesdropping on the feed of the government and everything like that. So
yeah, we can assume he's probably close in some sense.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because Vegapunk, there's a reason why he put up the video. He's going to show something, whether it be the live feed or not, or something else. I don't know, but that's just something that I think is a possibility of happening.
No, 1,000%, man. I think the last thing I could see him saying is just because he introduced the main character, Joy Boy.
Hmm.
I think the only thing I could see that would have an impact on the world government and their one big secrets is who Emu is. And I think if he introduced the main character, he might introduce the villain of the story of the Ancient Kingdom.
All right. That's a good one. 'Cause I was actually thinking the opposite of him actually telling the world that Straw Hat Luffy is actually the
I would love
second
that.
coming for Joy Boy.
Yeah, I would love that. But I view it as like an anti-world government broadcast. So I feel like there's got to be at least one more bombshell. I think that would be the nail in the coffin. I mean, the end of the chapter is Emu himself hearing this stuff.
Yeah. That's why I think Uranus is there.
Yeah.
There's no way Emu's gonna let this shit rock, bro.
I will say it seems like they don't give a fuck. Like if they if I feel like the way they're acting.
Yeah.
Because they had the ability to destroy the power plant, which would literally obliterate the entire island in one go, and they would all be fine.
Yeah, that's true.
But they chose not to do it because they want the Mother Flame that badly to continue using Uranus. I think they believe that even if the world knows everything, they can literally just kill everyone and continue.
Yeah, or just
yeah. But then I gotta wonder then, like, what I really want to know what their goal is up to this point, because like if they really felt like that, then I just don't know. I feel like they could have done a little bit more than just get the Mother Flame if they were that pressed. They were talking about the Great Cleansing before, right?
Yeah.
So that means that I'm assuming the Great Cleansing means basically another flood.
Yeah.
So they had this planned since like we were still at Wano, or at least on the way to Wano. So them saying that if they just letting it rock here because they letting the Mother Flame happen, then I mean because they want to get the Mother Flame, then yeah, they were probably at a point where they felt like, okay, it don't matter per se. I mean, it does matter, but at the same time, we'll just cause another flood. But I don't know if their goal is to kill everybody, though.
Yeah.
Like because why would you kill every single being on the planet and be kingdom to no one? Like the essentially, because we saw the revolutionaries attack Meridra, and then they cut off also the supplies of the people, because they like to live in an isolated area and they just get supplies delivered to them. You kill everybody, you kind of kill the celestial dragons too. Like it's So I don't know if their goal is to kill everybody, but it feels like we're missing something. Like
1,000%.
There's something out there that they're still fighting. Because when Vegapunk said the fight has never ended, it feels like there is an enemy that they're trying to get rid of.
I'm wondering if it's the guy with the flame tattoo or the
man marked by flames.
Yeah, if he has the last poneglyph, he might be one of the last survivors or one of Joy Boy's last crewmates. You know what I mean? That's still around. That's like
that's what I view as their ultimate goal.
Type of
like destroying Luffy's Joy Boy's like will and his allies, the poneglyphs, like rounding them back up. I view probably that as their ultimate goal. But yeah, Mod, even though like, because I don't know if they reveal that something like Emu is a person that exists, I view that as their like code red. But it just go like, I'm only going off what they said. The Goro say about like true. What should we destroy the power plant? And they're like, yo, March, chill out. And they still have yet to destroy the power plant, even though this chapter they're all saying like, yo, how much are you gonna say? You know what I mean? But they're still not going for the kill. Guarantee like it would literally guarantee that they kill everyone on the island, which would destroy it. If the snail's on the egghead, it will destroy the snail. So they must be okay with this level of
exposure.
Yeah, that's
For
true.
some whatever reason, which is just insane, bro.
And bro, you know what? I just
At least just to be clear, at least in comparison to the goal again in the Mother Flame.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But what I was just gonna say, but you know what's crazy? There's still another party, two parties that we don't know how it ties into this. Shanks, what he knows, and Blackbeard, what he
Yeah,
knows.
bro.
Blackbeard and his crew.
Yeah, bro.
The tremor fruit, the black hole. What was it?
Yummy, yummy, no me.
The yummy no me. Like, there's a reason why he has those two, and the reason why this dude Van Auger said the world.
The world.
And now we
bro.
find out that the world is actually underwater. I'm just like, what does Blackbeard know? You know, like
Yeah.
I think it's so interesting that, bro, when they were talking to Saturn, and he's like, and Saturn said, yeah, Blackbeard's lineage is also special, and Devon looked at this nigga like, oh, you know that?
Yeah.
You're surprised they know something? Like, you're surprised that these guys, the world government doesn't, like, there's something that they're missing? Like, bro, it's the world government. Their love, like, they're up to something crazy, and Blackbeard is someone crazy, and his lineage is something crazy that even they're surprised that the five elders would know.
Yeah.
So, yeah, just you're right. You're exactly right. Those guys are just, and obviously Shanks only decided to move when Luffy has attained Joy Boy's power.
Yep.
What's going on, bro?
It's the whole thing.
There's so much going on, and like so little to that we know.
Bro,
We're getting the biggest
questions.
stuff we ever get every single chapter, though. Like this is insane.
Yeah. But I think that's about it for this episode. What you guys think?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I think that might be our longest discussion.
Yeah, we did. Yo, real quick though, before we go, I wanted to show some more One Piece merch that I got. I got these shirts, these shorts, and if you look at my screen, they got the impact frames, right? So this is Gear 2, Luffy Gear 2. And yo, I absolutely love these shorts. We got Luffy Gear 4 impact frame.
I'm just now seeing the Gear 2 one. That's hype.
Yeah,
that is hype.
You'll see the gear. You'll see the Gear 4.
Oh yeah, that Gear 2 one is. I like the watercolor kind of. Like it's like kind of like not exactly sharp. I love how it looks.
Then we got Demon King Zoro impact frame with the black and green. There we go. That's better.
Wow, that Gear 4 one is crazy.
Yeah. And then my favorite, and I especially love the coloring that they chose for this one. Gear 5 impact frame, bro. This shit is beautiful.
Oh yeah, the Zoro one's goated. Yeah.
And then
that's nice.
And then the Gear 5 one also says, "This is my peak," you know, in real Gear 5 action. So
yeah, that episode was a moment in time, brother.
Oh man, but yeah, so
yeah, that looks amazing, bro.
So yeah, I just wanted to show it. I found that this weekend, and
you finna be hooping in style, bro.
Hell yeah, dog. so I'm excited. I just want to show them off. The company it's a company that's been on Instagram that like keeps, you always see like an ad, and then if they have Shopify, they're legit. So I said fuck it. They had a deal and they came in. So it's some slight clothing. They have other characters like Chopper shorts, but these are the new impact frame ones that came out recently, and I was just like, no, I gotta get these.
Yeah, those look hype. I might have to get one of the Gear 5 one. That shit was fire, bro.
I'll send you guys the link.
Hell yeah, bro. Hell yeah, man.
But so that I just want to show you guys that off real quick, and that is the end of today's episode. No break next week in the manga. Join us next Sunday, 11:30 to 12. We'll be back hopefully on Calimax stream, both on YouTube and Twitch. Thank you all for being here. Please don't forget to drop a follow, drop a sub, drop a like, and help us get there.
Yes, sir.
More. Let's get to 300. And thank you guys. Oda, thank you as always. This chapter was awesome. Mod, YHuss, thank you guys. Today was an awesome discussion, man. I'm not gonna lie. We really went into it, and I loved it. But
Yeah.
Callie Mac, congratulations this weekend. You are the man, and also go listen to Mac
Yeah,
and
Mac and
3,
3 out.
bro. I'm not gonna lie. The more I listen to Change, is it
Change is fire.
Change
Yeah,
is fire, son.
yeah.
So just support the fam, and we're all supporting each other. And let us know in the comments what you guys thought of this chapter. And thank you. So with that being said,
And shout out Mister too, though. Mister, thank you for hosting the stream. Thank you for setting it all up.
of
It was
course, of
dope.
course,
Great hosting.
I had to do better from the last time I hosted it, like unexpectedly.
Really?
I don't know. I felt like I felt off doing it, and today I was like, nah, I'm bringing it, and
Oh yeah,
you
it was
know,
sick. Great episode. Great energy.
yes.
All throughout it. All of us.
So with that being said, guys, be happy, be healthy, spread some love. Because there's so much negativity in this world, but we're here for each other. We're all we have,
Yeah.
and let's just keep growing and be positive and spread, like I said, spread love, yo. Y'all have a great week, and we'll catch you guys next week. Peace.
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 Who gon' get down? We are. This that Strawhat Sitdown. We are. Who the crew with the fleet? We are. Who gon' piece that one piece? We are. Who gon' get down? We are. This that Strawhat Sitdown. We are. Who the crew with the fleet? We are. Who gon' piece that one piece? We are. Strawhat Sitdown crew in the building. We Corona to these other podcasts. We gon' put these people in their feelings when they hear this, and they know that they can't top this. We spit facts and we poppin'. Every time an episode is dropping, we see D3 in the corner. Mister, that's a real G with the green screen in the background. Got him looking like he in a real scene. We got Big Mod in the cut. Always ready with rebuttals, but he bring the knowledge when we in the huddle, so you know the crew is never gonna fumble. And it's YHuss, last but not least. If you ask me, then Cali, mad at captain, make him rally around me. Every Sunday we gon' run deep, and we can't stop until we find out about that one piece. Who gon' get down? We are. This that Strawhat Sitdown. We are. Who the crew with the fleet? We are. Who gon' piece that one piece? We are. Who gon' get down? We are. This that Strawhat Sitdown. We are. Who the crew with the fleet? We are.